Now, I've built a lot of cars. I've built my 750 wheel horsepower WRX hatchback that you guys loved, that I so willingly killed too early, which I apologize for. I've built my VA STI, which this thing is a gem in itself. I've built the 05 STI, the BRZ when I had that car when it was turboed, a ton of stuff. But I want to build something that's genuine SEMA quality. A car that I can drive from where I'm at in Washington State down to Nevada, drive into SEMA, have the car look immaculate. When the event ends, drive out of SEMA and back up to Washington State, and that is exactly the project we're gonna be starting on. I know a lot of you guys see the 6-cylinder STI as a car that is SEMA quality. In my eyes, this car, I don't see this as being a SEMA quality car. While a lot of what's done in here is immaculate, I can do so much better. And we're gonna do just that with my RX-7. So we're gonna tear down my 1993 RX-7 to a bare shell, repaint the entire thing, undercoat the entire car, strip out all the interior, and we're gonna make this into the perfect, and I mean absolutely perfect, 2-rotor. Let me specify here, 2-rotor, because I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, but Rob, Dom's 3 rotors and 4 rotors and all these. 2-rotor. I can only afford a 2-rotor, so we're gonna make this the perfect 2-rotor RX-7 to have ever been built. So we got a lot of work ahead of us. I figure it's customary to give the RX-7 one final brap before I temporarily kill it before it becomes something new. I am so excited to see what this car is going to turn into after we do literally all of this work to get this thing back to a 100% perfect FD RX-7. We gotta turn the battery on. One final brap before you enter your new life. I am gonna miss hearing that for a while. That shit just sounds so fucking good, dude. This is gonna be the best car I have ever built. I can't wait. I should have revved it up before I shut it off. That's all right. That's the last time this thing's gonna run in quite a while. I'm gonna miss that sound, dude, so let's get cracking. Let's get fluids out of this thing so that way we can start stripping this car back down. The RX-7 has actually leaked oil since the day it first ran, and the way I've been stopping the leaks is just by shoving more and more and more towels in here. Which is totally not the right way. All right, let's go ahead and drain all the oil out of this thing. We'll drain all the coolant out. Then we're gonna get all the fuel out of the gas tank out, which is here. There should be a plug. Yeah, there's a drain plug right here on it. So I wanna get all the fluids out of this thing. We'll drain the transmission as well, just to get this thing bone dry. Oh. To try to mitigate a mess for later, I went through and I drained all fluids out. Oil, transmission, rear diff, gas, power steering. I think all that's left is brake fluid, but we'll get to that here in a little bit. I'm not gonna stress that right now. So let's start jumping in this engine bay and stripping this thing down as much as we can. I'm gonna pull the hood off just to give us a little bit more room, a little bit more light. We're gonna strip this thing down to a bare engine bay. I wanna get this engine pulled out tomorrow. This is where we're gonna stop for tonight. It's about 9 o'clock right now. I want to bring the engine hoist over here tomorrow, so we're gonna go grab one from Harbor Freight, bring it over, so that way we can get this engine out. I don't wanna keep pulling a lot of parts off quite yet because I have a nice little pile going all around the shop. I need to go grab some of these more of the bins, some more of these bins that I have over at the house, so that way we can stay somewhat organized as we continue to take this off. We've got our Greddy V-mount out of here. We've got our fenders off, fender liners off. So far, it's not looking too bad frame-wise. This is a California car for all of its life, so I'm not expecting a lot of rust, but we do have a little bit of surface rust starting to accumulate on the inside of the fenders here, inside of the frame rails. So we're gonna sand all that down, epoxy primer the entire car. We're gonna repaint it. I don't know what color I wanna paint this yet. I've never gone to the extent of tearing a car apart far enough where I have the opportunity to repaint it. So what do you guys think for color? I'm kind of thinking like an aspen white or a white. I'm just not 100%. Maybe we do a bright color. Maybe we do like yellow, like Mazda's yellow. Because we're going to have the ability to paint the engine bay. We're going to Raptor line the wheel wells. We're going to Raptor line the entire bottom of the car. We're going to take the windshield out, that rear hatch off. This thing is going to be better than it was coming off of the Mazda showroom floor. I promise you that. I went to Harbor Freight this morning. I bought a new engine hoist. So that way we have one here at the shop. So once Melanie gets done with this errand, she's got to run. She's going to bring that over. It just won't fit in any of the cars that I have. So I'm going to start prepping to pull the 13B out, and we can toss it on an engine stand. I have already realized I'm quickly running out of room in here, so we're going to have to get creative with where we start storing things, but we'll figure it out. A lot of the stuff in the engine bay we are going to reuse, and we'll just re-clean up the things that we are going to be reusing. Intake manifold, throttle body, alternator we're not reusing. DC Power sent us one of their big boy 180 amps for this car. That's all billet, so it's going to look nice. So I want this engine bay to be show worthy. I want the car to make a lot of power. I just want it to be perfect. So we'll clean up the stuff we are going to be reusing. We'll clean up the ABS module, make it look brand new, everything. It's all going to look damn near perfect. But I want to get this engine out today. If I can get the trans out, I'd like to get the trans out, but we'll see how far we actually get. So start stripping our engine down. That smells like fuel. Made an absolute mess and had to mop. I pulled off one of the coolant lines off the engine and it just dumped coolant everywhere. It's right where the rag's at right there. But this thing at this point is pretty much ready to be pulled out. We just got to separate it from the trans, undo the throwout bearing, and then we can pull this thing out. So Melanie's going to be coming over in a little bit with that engine hoist. In the meantime, I'm going to start disassembling the front suspension a little bit, just so that way we can start getting brake lines out of here, rotors out of here, calipers, just all this shit. So Let's get this thing up in the air a little bit, start tearing apart the front suspension, get the sway bar off, power steering rack out, start stripping this thing down as far as we can. Actually, what do I mean as far as we can? We're gonna strip it all the way down. Look at that. New engine hoist assembled. I went out to Harbor Freight this morning. This is the last 2-ton that they had. I specifically wanted the 2-ton, mainly because of the length of the front arm. If you guys remember the old one that we have, it cut so short that we couldn't actually get the arm above the engine in the RX-7, mainly because the engine bay is so long in these cars and the engine sits so far back, it's just very difficult. So Melanie and I just spent the past half hour, 40 minutes getting this thing assembled. While she started assembling that, I went through and I got the starter out, the clutch, or the throwout bearing disengaged. We got the front suspension completely out. Once the engine's out, we can go ahead and pull the transmission as well. We'll probably do that tonight. A lot of people pull the engine and the transmissions together on these. I'm just gonna pull the engine. We'll toss the engine on an engine stand and then we'll pull the transmission separate. It's not that heavy, so with Melanie here, the two of us can manhandle it out. It's really not bad. I did it by myself before, so let's yeet the engine out, get the front subframe out of here, and then we can get the transmission out of here. To be honest, I probably should have pulled the trans with the engine, but it's whatever at this point. As you guys saw, the whole car wanted to come up with it. The way that the transmission's actually held up is with a big PPF power plant frame brace, PPF brace, and that goes from the front of the car to the back of the car, and it ties the diff to the trans. Because there's not what is the word I'm looking for? It's not like a transmission brace. Why don't you help me on that?
I don't know.
You're just letting me struggle on it.
I don't know the car lingo.
So let me get this thing on a stand. It's gonna take me a minute because these things are weird to put on engine stands. I'm gonna have to go off the side of the engine. I don't really think you can go off the back side. I'm just gonna go off the side of the engine. That's how I did it last time. So I'll probably just put a point there, maybe there. I don't know, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I gotta reseal this thing anyways. I might tear this engine back down. Like, it's a good engine, runs and drives. But realistically, I don't like how I Cerakoted the whole engine gray. It kind of bothers me, and I'd rather have it the traditional, like, black, silver, black, silver, black, like Mazda has it. I don't know. I want it to be perfect, so I might do that. I mean, technically, a color scheme doesn't make a car perfect or not, right? You can't shake it. Nobody can hear you if you shake your head.
Well, I thought you were talking to them, not me.
I'm talking to both of you.
Yeah, color doesn't matter. It looks good either way.
Does it actually look good gray, though?
I like the gray.
Let me figure out how I'm gonna get this. I have to put together the engine stand also. We had to put together the hoist, let me put together the engine stand. Our 13B is up on our engine stand right here. I'm still debating if I want to rebuild the engine. I kind of want to. It doesn't need it though, so I mean, it might just be pointless. So, I don't know. We got a ways to go for that. My goal is to get this car into SEMA this year. I want this to be the most detailed perfection car build I've ever done. A lot of people tell me to take the STI over to SEMA, but honestly, in my opinion, I just don't think it's a SEMA quality car. There's a lot of stuff that can be done better on that car that just aren't done, and I want to take what I've learned from all the other cars and apply it to the RX-7. So I'm big hyped for what's coming on this thing. So we got pretty much the entire front end of this car disassembled the past day and a half. Next episode, we're gonna work on getting the entire rear end torn apart. We'll get the gas tank out, the fuel tank. We'll start pulling the interior out, get the transmission out. I've got the car ratchet strapped down to the lift right now because it does feel like it wants to kind of come up, but that's all I got for you guys on this one. If there's anything specific that you wanna see go on with the RX, I'm not wide bodying the car, so don't suggest that, but if there's anything specific you guys wanna see, feel free to throw it down in the comments. I'll heavily consider it with this thing. Let me know what color you think we should paint it also. I'm kind of feeling white, but I'm not 100% sold on that quite yet. I kind of a part of me wants to do like a bright color, but I don't know how I feel about it. So we'll see. But with that, that's all I got for you guys on this one. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Go and hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be, I'll put it in one of these corners. No idea which one quite yet. But with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies.